As we approach the end of my Fast and Furious recap, I have to say that I've enjoyed about 90% of these movies, the exception being Too Fast, Too Furious, and the fourth one, which was a little too dark. All these movies have been very entertaining to watch. They aren't psychological thrillers breaking the boundaries of the human mind, giving commentary to the complexities of the world, but they are a fun time, and I'm personally enjoying the ride. Fast and Furious 8 flipped the franchise upside down. It said, what if we made our main character evil? We all know Dom is not only a walking Terminator, but also a one-man army. So he caused his team a lot of pain. It was fun to see how the team would react if one of their members went rogue. The movie didn't mention this, but what if one of the reasons Dom switched to the dark side was because he lost Brian? Regardless, let's start discussing what really went down in the fate of the Furious. One thing Fast and Furious really knows how to do is start a movie. We begin in Cuba. The vibrant colors, the people chilling, having a good time. It really makes me want to go there one day. Dom and Letty are on a honeymoon, and Dom is happier than ever. Which is wild because later in this movie, he's more defeated than ever. Dom's cousin didn't pay his debt, so he's losing his car. Dom intervenes, raced the creditor, and of course he won. You know, I used to hear people say that later in the franchise, the movie stopped focusing on racing, but there has been a race in every movie. I know it's not the street racing culture that we've seen in the earlier films, but still, you gotta switch it up to keep it fresh. So it's morning time again. We on a nice little stroll through the beautiful streets of Cuba, and we come across a lady whose car has broken down. Since Dom is the hero archetype, he goes over and offers his assistance. She was like, thanks, but the car is fine. I was just trying to lower you over here. And she hands him a phone. What was on the phone? Well, it will be revealed later on. But understand that from this point on, Dom does not smile for the rest of the movie. Hobbs is out here teaching Junior League soccer, looking happier than ever. Some Agent Smith looking guy pulls up and was like, Hobbs, we need you to steal a device, and if you don't steal it, the whole world will explode. And Hobbs is like, man, relax. Dom is over here working on his chain. You'll see why later. Hobbs called Dom and was like, yo, we need to save the world again, so pull up to Berlin. And Dom was like, I'll see you there. I should explain the mission before we continue. So it's an EMP device similar to what Shaw wanted in the 6th movie, and it's stashed away in Berlin. The team gets their hand on the device, and while they were transporting it back to headquarters, Dom, why are you doing this? This isn't like you. He steals the device from Hobbs and disappears on a plane. He did what Owen Shaw wanted to do in the 6th movie in only 10 minutes. Letty's over here completely heartbroken. Like, damn, why is my man acting like this? It's as if Dom and Letty did a switch. He had to fight to save her. Now she has to fight to save him. Hobbs gets thrown in prison because he got caught by the Berlin government. And meet our new Paul Walker replacement, Little Nobody. This man had no aura, so moving on. It's funny, but Hobbs got thrown in the exact same prison that Deckard's in. And I love their interactions. It's one of my favorite parts of this movie. Back on the evil plane, Tormund from Game of Thrones was trying to act all tough to Dom, and Dom was like, man, move. Evil lady, who goes by Cypher, tries to convince Dom to join the dark side. Back in prison, Hobbs and Shaw have a prison break moment, and Mr. Nobody was like, finally, let's get this movie started. Mr. Nobody gathers the good guys and he explains that Dom is now working for a super hacker. I know what you're saying. Isn't Ramsey the super hacker? Well, Cypher is even better than her, and we need to capture her before she does some serious damage to the world. Mr. Nobody recruits Shaw to join the force, and Hobbs got so excited to see his bestie. Tyrese comes up with a genius idea to use God's Eye to track down Cypher, but it turns out Cypher was already in the building, and she just... She pulled up in there, stole God's Eye, looked Letty dead in her eyes, and made out with Dom right in front of her. My mouth was wide open in this scene, like, why are these characters so messy? After the debacle, Hobbs tries to shoot his shot at Letty, but she was like, I'm gonna be alright. Back on the evil plane, we see why Dom went rogue. Cypher captured Elena, but it wasn't only Elena, she also has Dom's son? What? Nah, Dom got a whole kid with Elena? Good job, Dom. After seeing this, I completely understood why Dom is going so far. You gotta protect your family. The team figures out where Dom is headed next, and it turns out they're coming to my home state. Finally, Fast and Furious pulls up to New York. At our new base, we have all the cars in the world. While on a mission, Dom makes a pit stop and speaks to this random lady. Before we continue, you're probably wondering what the mission is. Well, you see, my good people. The mission this time around is to acquire nuclear codes that are being held in this case. Me personally, if I had something as serious as nuclear codes, I would take the chopper to the boat to the jet to my destination. But nah, they'd rather drive through the busy streets of New York. A whole lot of falling cars ensues, and Dom pulls up looking like a threat. Full chainsaw shield with the armor. Nah, he looking tough. tough. He gets the nuclear codes and he skedaddles, but the team couldn't allow that, so they tried to hold him down, and somehow this one car was able to withstand the hold of 5 cars. Dom runs, Shaw tries to stop him, and he lit him up. Letty snatches the case, and as she tries to escape, Tormund pulls up and tries to take Letty off the map. But Dom was like, I wish you would try to do that. Dom saving Letty, however, wasn't the best idea, because back on the evil plane, Cypher was like, you hesitated to take Letty out, and to show you I'm not playing, Elena has to go. Nah, Cypher was unredeemable after that. She tried to pull up to Dom afterwards. Dom was like, listen, the only reason I haven't blown this plane up is because my son is on it. Back on the good guy's side, let me just say this. They were the most boring parts of this movie. All they did was yap. Anyway, we gotta go to Russia to stop a submarine from launching nuclear missiles. This is a 40-minute action sequence that I will try to summarize in 2. Dom drives through the compound, wreaking havoc. Ramsey and Cypher have a hack-off. The team gets hogged down by the Russian military. The amount of plot armor in Fast and Furious is insane. The best thing about this ending was Owen and Deckard on the plane. I knew Owen would make a return, and Deckard was putting in that work. He was taking dudes out while taking care of this baby. They were able to track down Cypher's location because Dom's chain. Anyway, Deckard saves Dom's child. Dom finally got to end Tormund. The team dodges missiles. Dom blows up the submarine, and I love how everyone came back and shielded him from the flames. Family power. Cypher escapes, so she'll probably be in the next movie. And yeah, the team enjoys a nice cookout back in New York, and that, my people, is Fast 8. I know this is the what did I learn from this movie segment, but as we go deeper into this franchise, I'm finding it harder and harder to find meaning. Dom past always seems to catch up to him. The team always find themselves in the most world-ending conflict. Don't get me wrong, it's very entertaining, and I did really enjoy Fast 8. But in terms of characterization, nobody's really learning anything. Things just sort of happen, and that's okay. Life sometimes just happens. Either way, that is all I have to say. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow the Patreon. See you guys in Fast 9.